Hello, beautiful. Today we're talking about something that so many women silently struggle with after having their baby, and that is postpartum hair loss. If you're currently watching your edges grow thin, your curls shed excessively, or you're even scared that every wash day it is going to end as your hair coming out, I want you to know that you're not alone. Because postpartum hair loss can feel emotional because your hair is connected to your identity, your confidence, you as a woman, and honestly, sometimes even your energy. So today I want to walk you through what's actually happening in the body after pregnancy, what made the biggest difference for me, and how you can begin restoring your hair without panic, overwhelm, or even trying every product that's on the internet. So with that being said, let's get started. Do you want healthy, full, manageable, natural hair in simple solutions, but struggle with finding safer options you can trust and want to take all of your time and energy to search? If so, you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Ashley, wife, mom, and Jesus BFF. I learned the secret of how to care for my hair and save time while maintaining it. Holistic care. So if you're ready for healthy hair, better health, and faith that helps you stay consistent, grab your comb, your brush, and your Bible because it's time to grow. So beautiful. Let's talk about why postpartum even begins, like what's really happening when it comes to our body. Well, during pregnancy, our estrogen level, that hormone that we have, it's elevated. And this keeps our hair in the growth phase longer. This is needed to keep our baby nice and healthy. And it also helps with our hair as well. And so this is why during this time you may notice that your hair looks thicker, it looks fuller. It's very beautiful during pregnancy a lot of the times. But after delivery, that's when everything is trying to go back to its normal state. So your hormone levels, they shift rapidly. And that hair that was held in that growth phase or that anagen phase of your hair cycle, that begins to shed all at once. And so sometimes when you start noticing the changes with your hair, it may feel like it's happening overnight, like dramatically. So here are some signs that you may start to notice with your hair. Excess shedding in the shower. Maybe you notice that your hairline is thinning. It's not as thick as it was before. You even notice a change with your curl pattern or texture, and even experiencing more dryness and breakage. All before, you were able to retain more moisture, but now you're noticing no matter what you use, what product you use, you're experiencing more dryness and breakage. There's also a change in your density. There's a loss of density, so there's more thinning, as well as slower growth. Before, your hair was growing, it seemed rapidly, but now it's starting to slow up a bit. Now, postpartum shedding, it is common, but that doesn't mean that just because a lot of women experience it, we shouldn't ignore these signs. Because sometimes when we don't pay attention to those signs, the hair loss can actually worsen. And here's what's happening on an even more deeper level in your body. It could be nutrient depletion. You know, while you're pregnant and everything, you're taking your postnatal pill, your prenatal pills, and you're making sure you're eating right and everything. So with all these changes that's happening to your body, now your body needs to give the nutrients to your baby. And because of that, you could be depleted when it comes to your nutrients. And so this also can affect your iron deficiency as well as your blood sugar. This could also affect your protein. Maybe you were eating more protein before, but now not so much. And there's a change in your energy with the stress levels and just the lack of sleep. Like, you know how it is like having a newborn, just adjusting to those new lifestyle changes. That could take a toll on your body as well, including just not eating enough overall. So all of these changes are happening, and as a mom in general, we can pour so much into everyone. We could see the signs, we could kind of notice it, but we could put ourselves in the back burner because we're trying to take care of our newborns and just run our household. And so one of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of times and what I've experienced is that we could just focus on external products like the oils, the serums, the scalp massages, protective styles. All of that, it can help to support the process, but hair is just not a cosmetic issue. See, our hair is often a reflection of what's happening internally. So when you see these signs, it will not replace the fact that you're experiencing chronic stress. It doesn't matter what style that you use for your hair, it will not take the place of you having nutrient depletion. And also, it doesn't matter what product you use because it cannot replace the fact that you're experiencing hormonal imbalance. And as someone like me with a background in biology and cosmetic chemistry, I had to stop treating my hair like the problem and start supporting my body as a whole system. And this mindset shift, it changed everything for me once I started to see the full picture. So with that being said, let me share the core things that helped me the most. So the first thing was to prioritize protein. When it comes to our hair is primarily made of protein. And a lot of times we as postpartum women, we're unintentionally under eating protein because we're busy, we're exhausted, skipping meals, or just surviving on snacks. Like, we're doing the best that we can. So it's not like we don't want to have protein, but we're just eating what's available to us. And sometimes in those snacks, it doesn't have a lot of protein in them. And so one of the things that helped me was I started focusing on having protein throughout the day. So for me, that meant having my scrambled eggs in the morning, having my Greek yogurt, doing like my parfaits, and doing like my overnight oats. Also having collagen supportive foods, that helped me a lot, as well as having like smoothies. I love me a good smoothie. So when I would have my smoothies, I made sure to have protein in it. Just finding different ways I could add in some protein. Also, with my dinner, making sure I was having like chicken, fish, or turkey. That's like my main meats that I eat. And so that helped me with maintaining my protein, as well as having broths like chicken broths. Especially because I had a C-section, I didn't want too much on my body. I didn't want to eat too heavy sometimes because I was like very sore. So having those broths, it helped me a lot as well. This is how I prioritize my protein. Now, the second thing that helped me a lot was supporting minerals and nutrients. Now, when it comes to postpartum recovery, we can deplete on iron, zinc, vitamin D, B vitamins, and other nutrients connected to hair growth. And so for me, I started focusing on foods that had purpose and not just chasing perfection. And so I did a lot of things like leafy greens. So I did a lot of like spinach. I would have spinach and like mixed in with my salads, or I would have that with my eggs. I would just find some kind of way to have that a part of my diet, as well as eating pumpkin seeds, berries, healthy fats, and drinking water. Water was very key. I was reminded how I wasn't drinking enough water because in the beginning I was breastfeeding, and that was super painful when I tried to breastfeed a few times, and it was like really hurting. But it was because I wasn't drinking enough water. So, you could have that kind of reminder, but it's just good to remind yourself to prioritize water and get those minerals in your body. And this is all going to help you with mineral support, because your scalp is a living tissue and it needs nourishment. And so by doing this is going to help keep your hair and your scalp nice and healthy. The third thing that I focused on was trying to reduce the stress. And this was helpful because reducing stress is not only good for your body, but it's also good for your scalp as well. So that means I had to simplify my hair routine. Now, being that I had a C-section, I wasn't doing all the things to my hair anyway, so that in itself, it taught me to simplify my routine. But what I also stopped was excessive manipulation, like putting my hands throughout my hair and creating like harsh tension styles and overcomplicating wash day. So what I did, I started focusing on gentle scalp massages, especially, all I could do was rest. And so I would have my scalp massager and just massage my scalp. I also focus on moisture balance, and so prioritizing that in my hair routine, as well as doing like low tension styles. So I'm the type, I love to wear like flat twists, and that helped me also with keeping my hands out my hair. And it also helped me with retaining moisture. So I would do that as well. And this helped with keeping the inflammation down, and that consistency over perfection, it helped to reduce that stress. The fourth thing that I focused on was scalp care, because healthy hair starts with scalp health. I started to treat my scalp like skincare. So if the scalp is inflamed, congested, dry, imbalanced, then your growth is gonna get much harder. So when I started to realize that everything begins at the scalp, I started to focus on cleansing consistently. And that also meant being consistent with my hair routine, including like my clarifying my hair, especially once I started going into the gym and I learned about sweat buildup and everything. That's when I learned that I needed to cleanse consistently. This also taught me to focus on lightweight nourishment, like not putting a lot of heavy products on my hair, but more lightweight for my hair type. By doing this and focusing on my scalp, it started to improve my circulation, my blood circulation, and it also helped me with not having product buildup on my scalp by really focusing on my scalp care. So the fifth thing, right? I'm telling you, I did a lot, but this was very helpful. Now, the fifth thing that I focused on was nervous system. Now, this one is very huge and often ignored because your body, it cannot prioritize thriving hair growth if it feels like it's constantly surviving. And as moms, we are often overstimulated, sleep deprived, and mentally carrying everything. So for me, I had to really slow down where I could. This means I needed to breathe, rest when possible. You ever been like so tired till you had no choice but to fall asleep even though you wanted to keep working? You ever felt like that? Well, having that happened a lot for me, especially after having my baby. And so I had to learn to really rest. And I think there were several moments in my life where the Lord had to teach me to just rest and rely on Him. And this also brings me to my next part, which is still a part of taking care of the nervous system, which is to pray. And I really had to continue to learn to give my cares to Him, because we can't solve all the problems and issues of the world or what's going on in our life. And so I had to learn to just rely on the Lord and just give it all to Him. And by doing this, by resting and giving my worries to the Lord, this helped me to release pressure. And this also helped me with not attaching my worth to how quickly my hair looked or just how my hair responded. but just giving myself grace in this moment. And the healing, it actually happened faster in a supported body. So you ever notice that when you go to the doctor and you're experiencing some pain, they tell you to rest? Well, that's because resting, it allows the body to heal. When you're doing the most, then your body doesn't have time to heal itself. But when you just rest and let the Lord do what he needs to do, then that's when the healing comes in. And it's the same thing when it comes to your hair as well. So I want to encourage you. Postpartum seasons, it can make you feel disconnected from yourself. Your body change, your hormone change, your hair change, your routine change. Everything changes and you start to feel like you're not yourself. And this season, it's not the end of your beauty or your identity. Sometimes restoration, it actually takes patience. And I truly believe that stewardship is biblical. Caring for our bodies gently, nourishing ourselves, and giving ourselves grace through those transition seasons. So I want to remind you, do not compare your recovery timeline to someone else online. Even take a break if you have to. And that's also going to help to restore your nervous system as well. Consistency matters more than perfection. Now, if this episode has encouraged you, please send it to another mom who may be silently struggling with postpartum hair loss. And if you want more faith-based wellness, holistic hair care, beauty education rooted in science and stewardship, make sure you subscribe to the podcast and join the wellness community as well. I'll make sure to have a link in the show notes for you to join. I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye, beautiful. Hey, beautiful. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you please take 30 seconds and share with a friend who may want to care for their hair without overwhelm and confusion? Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It lights me up to feel the love when I know the podcast is helping you. Well, I'm off to care for my crown, drink my water, and stop touching my hair. I'll meet you back on Tuesday for another quick episode. Love ya!